Good morning, guys. Happy Saturday, about 5 a.m. And yes, before anybody makes a comment, yes, I have poison ivy again. You can probably see my right eye looks a little swollen. Yeah, okay, right eye, right ear. That's what I get for working out in the yard, doing this pond and everything like that, putting plants in. Poison ivy. Mrs. P thought she got it all. I must have touched something somewhere. But yeah, there you go. So we'll muddle through. Fortunately, one of y'all uh, sent me a whole bunch of prednisone in the mail because the VA won't give it to me. But it's nice when people can take care of other people, which might be something that we might need to be doing here pretty quick. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. With all this jobs hard to come by or good jobs or whatever, how would you like to be a buyer for Home Depot or Lowe's? You probably went into work yesterday and got messages from your different stores going in Denver. Oh my God, we need an immediate order of snow shovels and snow blowers, ice, rock salt, And then the next email you read was from somewhere on the Gulf Coast or the Atlantic Coast going, we need emergency air conditioners, yada, yada, yada. It's supposed to be at over 100 degrees. Yeah. All right. So this is actually what's really happening, guys. Grand solar minimum here. And all these climate change people who want to blame everything but the facts. Okay, maybe this will be a wake-up call to them. It is May 21st. Denver is supposed to get between 5 and 8 inches of snow today. Okay, overnight low 32. Over the high today, 42. Okay, they're supposed to get half a foot of snow. However, you get the Gulf Coast, the Atlantic Coast, literally all the way from Texas up to about Maryland or something like that. You're going to have temperatures pushing 100 degrees today. All right? That's how insane it is. To give you this, it's going to be hotter on the East Coast than it is in Phoenix or in Vegas today. Yeah, okay? All these things seeing about how crazy the weather is in the desert. Trust me, I live there, 117 degrees, but it's a dry heat. It's freaking hot. All right. Well, on the East Coast out here, it is not a dry heat. It's humid. And yesterday it got to 88. Okay. Today we're supposed to be somewhat similar. I want to give you this. All right. Here, me in Eastern Kentucky, Gee, what state do I live in again? Yeah, it's 5 a.m. Eastern Tennessee. All right. It is 5 a.m. The average temperature on May 21st in Sharps Chapel, Tennessee, is 72.4 degrees. It is 5:18 in the morning as I'm doing this. Right now, it is 72 degrees outside. And it's pitch black, okay? Wait till the sun comes up. It'll get hot quick. We're supposed to be up in the high 80s, maybe hit 90 today. Needless to say, Mrs. P and I will be doing our work outside early this morning and hiding this afternoon because the humidity here will knock you in your teeth. And those of you guys up in the Northeast, upper Midwest, you know what I'm talking about with humidity. It's like you walk. I remember walking to my car in the summer in Boston, from my front door to my car, maybe 30 feet. And by the time I got to my car, I had sweat on my forehead. Okay, that was how humid it was. Now, I'll give you this one. This came from Joshua up in Detroit. All right, so those of you guys in Michigan, you can understand this one. They got a notification from Detroit Energy yesterday that there was a heat emergency. Mind you, that's May 20th. Okay, we haven't even hit, and I know Michigan summers, okay? You haven't even hit July, August yet, okay? Detroit Edison declared a heat emergency and posted on their website that yesterday between the hours of 3 p.m. and 7 p.m., okay? Now, mind you, this is when kids are coming home from school, the lights go on, the AC gets turned up, things like that. Okay, yes, they're still in school. Electric prices would multiply tenfold between 3 and 7. They wanted everybody to shut everything off. The hottest part of the day, and oh, by the way, we don't want you to use air conditioning, and if you decide that you're going to try to stay cool, we're going to charge you 10 times the amount that we normally do. Now, why would they do something like this? Well, because there's a run on the grid. They can't generate enough power for all the use of the power. But we're supposed to go to, green energy, where they're going to come up and say, there isn't, it hasn't been sunny here in 3 days. It's supposed to rain here in Tennessee all week next week. How much solar energy do you think I'd be able to generate? Not much, okay? So there needs to be some sort of alternate energy, and maybe say, oh, wind, okay, great, do that too. But it's not going to be enough. And when they come up and say, we're going to increase your rates tenfold for 4 hours, okay, you go, oh, it's only 4 hours. Think of 10 times. If you pay, I just got my electric bill and it was $122 for last month. So that means it was $4 a day. Okay, there we go. All right, so if I break that out into by the hour, and let's say I'm only using power for 16 hours a day, thereabouts, okay? So if I'm paying $4 a day, divide that out by 16 hours, that's what, 40 cents an hour? Somewhere thereabouts? Too early in the morning to do math, okay. Well, now that 40 cents turns into $4, okay, that $1.60 turns into $16. How many days does that have to happen before all of a sudden you're seeing a $500 electric bill, a $1,000 electric bill? $1.60 and $16 is a lot in one day. Say it happens in a week. Say your bill, instead of $11.20, is now $112 for a week. Okay, think about that. And that's just raising the rates for 4 hours. This is why it's so important for everybody to have a backup system on their own, okay? Whether it is a little generator that you can run a swamp cooler or a window AC or even a fan or something. Because if they're going to charge you tenfold what you need to power any sort of device, it's not going to take long until you go, in my example, $112 in a week, and you go, crap, if I would have bought that generator, like I said, the little Delta 1300 or something like that, it's paid for in 6 weeks. Okay. The 7th week, you're cool, or at least somewhat comfortable. I know we've talked about heat in the winter and getting backup heat, which of course is important because a lot of people, die from freezing to death. A lot of people also die from the heat. That's why you see, in some of these big cities, all these cooling centers and stuff like that in the summer. There ain't anything like that in a lot of places. You're left to fend on your own. Maybe you have the advantage of a pool around or something that you can cool off in, a lake, my pond, okay, if I ever get water in it. Sure, I could do something like that. Your bathtub, in a worst case scenario. But do I really want to be sitting in the bathtub for 4 hours? No, I'd look like a prune. But this is the point, guys. This is why some preps are so important. I mean, I know every prepper will talk about food, weaponry, water, everything. And no question, those are all extremely important. But temperature is also something you have to prep for. Heat in the winter, cooling in the summer. Yes, people have for centuries lived without AC, and they figured out ways to work their life around the heat. All right. But it's not as easy as it was before in these days of the grand solar minimum, when we have heat and cold extremes. And today is a perfect example of it. Astronomically higher temperatures than normal on the East Coast, snow in the mountains in the West Coast. Yeah, every once in a blue moon, it snows this late in the year somewhere. Okay. I mean, I remember as a kid one year there was snow in June when I lived in Chicago. A couple of years ago when we were in Vegas, there was one morning I woke up and there was a light coating of snow on the ground in Vegas. Okay. It's not unheard of. What's going on now is the norm. And guys, we're just at the beginning of the GSM. It's going to get worse as we go. And this is supposed to last for somewhere around the next 30 years. Basically, the rest of my life, I will be living with something like this. Will I be able to keep myself comfortable? Hopefully. Will I be able to afford to? Pray to God. Okay. But this is why you have to have some sort of plan. If you don't have a box fan, an oscillating fan, or something, go out and get it. If you can find one. Like I said, there may be a whole lot of people who have the same idea going, crap, I got to go buy a fan. Okay. Remember, supply chain shortages, where does this thing come from? Plastics, metals, etc. That's all this is made from. Hopefully it's not too late to get one to get through today, but get something. All right. Figure out your plan. What are you going to do? Because heat kills, guys. I mean, this could be a matter of life and death. And especially if you're older, or especially if you're younger, older because your body can't adjust. Younger, you're just not smart enough to come out of the heat. Okay. It's like, I want to go out and play, Mom, but it's 102 degrees. You don't, need to drink more water. Yeah. Okay. So those are the things. Watch yourself, watch your family members, pay attention to your neighbors, whatever it is. This is one of the times it's important for us to, as preppers, to help others who may not be as prepared. Let's put it this way. And I'm not saying feed them or anything like that, going into that. But, if the power goes out and you've got a 80-year-old neighbor next door and you've got a box air conditioner or something like that, go get your neighbor, bring him over to the house and say, hey, Joe, here, you know what? Sit on my couch, watch TV, read the newspaper, do whatever it would be. Stay here. It's cool. You're safe. Okay. One thing I know about this family is we all have a heart. And that is something that makes us tenfold better than a lot of the normies, because society's turned too much into me too, me too, me too. Not the movement, but, it's all about me, 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 me. We still have a tendency to think of others. In situations like we're going to experience today, please do so. Pinball out.